We've been talking about the Niners with Jimmy Garoppolo. Doug Gottlieb from Fox Sports Radio driving into work and wanted to weigh in. Hi, Doug.
Hey, guys. Dan, sorry. I hope I didn't run the ship off course Friday when I got to fill in for you. I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that, Doug. Very, very nice of you.
I would just look. I kind of agree with Seton here. I mean, what are we missing? It's the trend in sports. The Sixers tanked. It's working, right? They have two burgeoning superstars on their roster, and look, every pick does not hit. There's a hit rate, right? Maybe it's 50-50. And then you look at the Astros, same thing. They tanked for years. They were so bad. The Astros were so bad in 2013. They got a Blutarski, a 0.0 local rating on their local broadcast, which is unheard of in baseball. But it worked because you get enough picks, you move them around, look at the young pieces they have under club control, and they win a World Series, and they're going to be competitive for years to come.
Yeah,
That's
but they didn't sit down Dallas Keuchel. I mean, they're not playing Jimmy Garoppolo.
It's a different sport. It's a different sport. I mean, do you think Ben Simmons couldn't play at all last year? I mean, you think, they got kid gloves on Joel Embiid. I mean, look, in this particular sport, you're running a risk of Jimmy Garoppolo getting hurt, and your best. You have no chance of success, ultimate success this year. And you put yourself in strong position to trade those picks to every loss, it creates a greater possibility of getting the first or second overall.
Yeah.
And we've seen how valuable that is,
but would
especially in the year of the quarterback.
Doug, would you give Jimmy Garoppolo $100 million?
No, but you know what? Look, I'm not. The reason they got John Lynch and the reason they got Kyle Shanahan is because they believe those two can evaluate the one position on the field that is the hardest to evaluate. And now they have him in their building, right? So they obviously think he's the guy. So would I? Probably not. But would I take the word of John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan? Yes, I would. So if they say give him $100 million because they've been around the block, then I'd probably give him $100 million. That's what you pay those guys to do.
But what happens if you give him that kind of contract? Then next year, that the Niners are, let's say, 3-10. Do you then sit him out because the games don't mean anything and no reason to put him in there because he might get hurt? Like at what point do you say?
Potentially. I mean, shouldn't the Giants be doing that? Right? I mean, honestly, the Giants should have traded away Eli Manning to the Jaguars.
Yeah, but you're not going to sit Eli now because Eli's probably not your quarterback next year. So who cares if he gets injured?
So you got to find out what you got in Davis Webb.
I don't know, but I don't know what I have in Jimmy Garoppolo.
Obviously, they do though. That's the point. Like Kyle Shanahan does. You have tape on him. You've seen him in your practices. Now you've seen him a little bit in your games. John Lynch has obviously seen him when he evaluated when he was working for Fox Sports. I agree with you. I don't know. It's a mysterious thing if he's really that good. But it's pretty obvious that Kyle Shanahan thinks he's that good. That's why he traded for him, knowing he's going to have to pay for him.
Yeah, but then you're going to set up a scenario where it's a meaningless game next season, and then the season after that it's a meaningless game, and then all of a sudden Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't play.
But you win this thing based Chip Kelly had no chance last year because they had no talent, right? They stripped this thing down. They had no talent. And they did pretty well. They did really well in their first draft. And so, this is the philosophy, right? They were clearly tanking. When you say, hey, we're signing Brian Hoyer to be our guy, you're like, all right, you're playing for next year.
Yeah.
And they probably evaluated Josh Rosen, who looks the part, but everybody thinks is not a leader. He's got something missing in his makeup that they evaluated Darnold, and they're like, dude, Darnold's got all the leadership, but, man, there's a lot of stuff to work through. They evaluated all the other college quarterbacks. And you know what? Jimmy Garoppolo, he's been trained by the best and played with the best. He's played a little bit. We think he fits into what we want to do. I mean, I'm sure Kyle Shanahan probably has some arrogance to which he thinks, I developed Kirk Cousins into being a franchise-caliber quarterback, and it would cost way too much, be way too hard to sign him as a free agent instead of a second-round pick and whatever you have to pay for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah,
I think
but we're in agreement.
And it's going to work.
We're in agreement on getting Garoppolo. I thought it was great that they traded for him. Absolutely. I'm shocked the Browns didn't go and pay more for him. Yes, I understand all of it. I'd like to see him play.
Because they're the Browns.
Yeah, but I don't want to sit here and go, boy, you know what? This is a meaningless game. Jimmy, you're not going to play today. That's not the. Would you start him against the Bears this weekend?
Probably not. Probably not. Look, because there's no reward for being okay. Like, that's the problem with the system, right? Is there's just no reward. We're so much better off being terrible and getting a better pick and trading that pick for more picks and just playing the numbers game and getting more talent.
I understand that, but at some point I have to see him play if I'm going to pony up $100 million. All right, Doug, thank you for calling in. It's always great to talk to you.
Anytime.
That's Dougie Fresh, Fox Sports Radio.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.